Hello, hello. Sarah Waggle here, astrologer and leadership coach here for your Moon Astrology Tarot. Moon in Capricorn, December 13th through the 15th. Before I dive in, thank you so much to everyone for their well wishes and thoughtful comments as I was traveling and getting myself settled in. I am in my new place. And so we'll see where this journey leads. Do I think the blind nomad is grounded? No. No, I do not. Just judging by my own life experience. I've never really stayed in the same place for more than 2 to 3 years. But for now, I have my own place with my own space, and I can spread my stuff out and create my own. I feel like I have a blank canvas and I get to create it. So anywho, let's dive into this moon in Capricorn, this waxing moon coming off of that new moon in Sagittarius that we just had overnight leading into today. And I always like to mention that the Capricorn moon is all about checking your emotions at the door. The moon does not like being in Capricorn because Capricorn is such a workhorse type of sign. It is the mountain goat. It is the sort of the climbing the apex of Mount Kilimanjaro type of energy. So it's kind of the worker energy. So that being said, of course, we have the oops, got my card stuck. Hold on. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse and the King of Batlets upright. So let's talk about this King of Batlets. This is a Gowron from the Klingon Empire. If you've ever seen Klingon episodes of Star Trek, these guys, like, they're warriors. They like to fight. They're strong. They're, headstrong, and all of that. We also, during this moon phase, have Mars trining Chiron. So Mars, which is our head, right? It's our motivation. It's our ego. It likes to, it goes after what it wants. Trining Chiron, which is the wounded healer, who is in Aries, which is a Martian sign. So a trine is typically a positive aspect or conversation. And so what I really feel like, this is so accurate. I really feel like people are going to check their shit. This is when people are going to maybe even be feisty with their speech. They're going to be very direct, although albeit Mercury in retrograde. So something to be aware of there. But I feel like we're really going to start to see the separation between who's been doing healing work and who hasn't. And the people who have been doing healing work, I am not judging either way, by the way, just stating. But the people who have been doing healing work are going to start sort of separating themselves from people who have not, because they're like, okay, I've healed myself to the point where now I know my mission and I'm going to freaking do it, whether you like it or not. That's where the emotional check is going to be. And so as we move through this moon in Capricorn, I think you're going to start to see the dividing line. And I'm not trying to be divisive, but I think there's going to be this separation between people who have been healing and people who have not. Again, not judging either way. You do you be where you are. We're all on our own individual journeys, but because we are heading into a lot of energy that's going to really empower and inspire people to be on their missions, their soul mission, their heart's desire mission, you're going to start to see breakups. You're going to start to see friends parting ways, even potentially families parting ways, because again, I talked about like generational healing a couple of days ago. And as people continue to do generational healing, they suddenly cannot be around people who are still living in that wounded space, and or people who are still in that wounded space cannot be with people who are healing. That's a very common thing. People don't like healed people because healed people speak up and healed people know their worth and their value, and all of that. Then we have, making sure I show it in the right direction. Okay, there we go. The Knight of Wands in reverse. This is somebody who's destructive. This is wands or fire. And so what we have here is people being a little erratic about that Mars trine Chiron with a moon in Capricorn, right? They're a little erratic and they maybe pull the trigger too quick to end a relationship, and they do it in an ugly, destructive way, right? Whether it's a relationship with a person or their home or their job, maybe abruptly they quit without thinking it through. completely for financial reasons, or just where the hell are they going next type of thing. So you could see some like erratic behavior. I always think Mars brings about erratic behavior, but Mars trine Chiron and Aries could certainly bring about somebody just flying off the handle and making a really snap decision that's not so responsible. Also consider Mercury retrograde in Capricorn. So anyway, lots of things getting stirred up with this moon in Capricorn, even though it's a not so emotional moon transit, but because of where we're going, right? We're heading into this time and space where things are going to start changing even more rapidly than they did before. 2023 was a lot of rapid change. 2024 speeds it up 10. Okay, things are going to really start changing, especially after January 20th, when Pluto moves back into Aquarius and all the personal planets start conjuncting it. So 2024 starts with a bang of energy. So be aware, be intelligent, use your intellectual discernment skills, use your good communication. Again, Mercury in retrograde, right? Communication could be erratic. And, but be aware of the fact that not everybody's there. Not everybody's on the same, emotional, intelligent level. What I do always like about Moon in Capricorn is that I always encourage clients to not make decisions based, while you're emotional. So if you're emotionally processing something, like wait until you've processed the emotions to make a choice, because if you make it while you're emotional, you won't be satisfied with it typically. So give yourself that grace and space to process emotions before making a decision. But anyway, so we're heading into just some really good accelerated energy, but it's also going to be really important to be very direct and specific with your communication. It's going to be really important to use good discerning skills. Check in with yourself, your higher self, your guidance team, whether that's your spirit guide or your guardian angels, or whomever, whatever. Be super clear to check in on your teams for confirmation, ask for signs, ask for, take the time to journal and all of those things. These are going to be really important. All those spiritual practices that we all talk about as astrologers, as spirit guides, as coaches, all of the things, like now is the time to put all those into play as things accelerate even faster and start changing more rapidly. So that's what I got for the Moon in Capricorn. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, you can check the links below for how to book with me. If you want to get in deep with your basic astrology and or your quarterly astrology, all of those things. And of course, I do have a special airing here on YouTube on December 15th. That's going to be kind of a wrap up of 2023 and a preview of 2024. I'm pretty excited, although it was a pretty experimental video on my part. I was just kind of like, let me see if I can do this, right? And so I'm pretty excited about it, although it may be kind of rusty just because, again, it was me experimenting and seeing what I could do with the astrology and, feeling through an entire year and all of that. And also, summing up a previous year. So anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you for all of your grace, space, encouragement, and comments, thoughtfulness, all of that. I really appreciate it. And I will talk to you on the next video. Bye for now.